so I took more. That's when I blasted off. I barely had time to put down the pipe. The waves of energy in my body got so intense, I knew I had to ground them out. So I fell off the chair to the floor, very controlled like. I was in control of it. My friend, let's call him Sean, was worried, but I managed to let him know I was okay. I'm on the floor by this point, sighing and moaning, then laughing. I was unaware of the room. The patterns behind my closed eyes were incredibly intricate and beautiful, concentric circles turning in alternate directions filled with shifting, multicolored serpentine patterns. Then 4 elf-like clowns appeared out of the space of the floor. All of them were really friendly. One of these clowns was a pretty majorette, dressed in a blue soldier nutcracker-like kind of uniform, with big red circles painted on her cheeks and a big, beautiful smile. She had a bag of candy, and she was offering it to me. They all seemed to be offering gifts. I felt like they would have given me anything I ever wanted, but this nymph with the candy was extremely appealing. I saw the candy, symbolic I'm sure, and the yellow one looked really bright and colorful, but just as I was about to take it, I had this overwhelming feeling of not being worthy to accept what they had to offer. I felt like I didn't deserve it, like I wasn't good enough, so I refused the gift. She became a little snarky and said sarcastically, "Oh, of course, why would you want some of this?" The scene changed to black and white, and she took the candy away. I felt insects crawling on me and still felt like I had no business being with these beautiful, beautiful creatures. The feeling was mine. They were trying to convince me I was worthy, that it was okay to accept the gifts. I felt worthless and guilty that I may have offended them by refusing the offer. And that's when I said, too much. I put a cap on it. I limited the experience. I felt I could have gone much deeper if I could have just let go. I tried to come back to earth, tried to stand. I had no balance and my eyes were still closed, but I could see the room and knew where everything was. Sean said he was wondering to himself how I was doing it. I would stumble and almost crash into the desk, but then I would shift myself at the last second and grab onto the thing, all with my eyes closed. Subjectively, it wasn't quite like seeing, it was like sensing everything in my proximity so well that I had a perfect mental image of my surroundings, kind of like the superhero Daredevil. Then I noticed the beings again. They were still right there, with outstretched arms, as if to catch me if I fell. They looked like glowing blue humanoid shapes at this point. They didn't seem to have clearly defined features. They gestured to my chair, so I made my way over and sat down. Now, a different one was communicating with me. I had the impression that he was the ringmaster of this crazy clown circus. The others were still there, especially the majorette. She was stroking my face and soothing me, sending me healing energy. He wanted me to know that I was beautiful, that they loved me, and that they wanted to help me, and I was entitled to everything I ever wanted. I just had to accept it. They were full of such incredible love, I started to cry. I still get really emotional thinking about it. Finally, I said, okay, and the waves of love just washed over me, and I felt incredible. It was crazy. The ringmaster was sitting on my desk talking with me, and the whole time the others were sending me healing energy, soothing me. I felt like a little kid. I was talking back, saying, I know, you're right. The beings were just laying it on the table, like, here it is. It's what you came for, isn't it? They told me that they are everywhere, all the time, and that I'm never alone. After the lesson, I asked if I could go now, and made my way back to reality. I still felt like I was on the wackiest acid trip ever. This lasted for another 10 to 15 minutes, during which time I alternated between uncontrollable sobbing and euphoric laughter as I tried to make sense out of the experience.